Alain. So Alain is the co-author of the book Quantum Chemistry and Computing for the Curious, illustrated with Python and Qiskit code. He's the founder and CEO of Quantalain SASU and Alain Quant LLC. It's a business management and consulting startup company. He is the chief business officer of Molket, a startup with offers designing new smart solutions leveraging quantum technologies and quantum chemistry. He has over 30 years of experience in major enterprise transformation projects with a focus on data management and governance gained in major management consulting firms. And Alain is a Qiskit advocate and is an IBM certified associate developer in quantum computation using the latest version of Qiskit since 2021. And he has completed several hackathons pertaining to quantum computing since 2018. He is a mentor for the Qiskit Global Summer School and for the Qiskit Quantum Explorers Learning Program, which is live right now, actually, and we provided a link to it in our quantum resources. So another thing that IBM is doing is their Qiskit Quantum Explorers program. It's like a gamified version of like taking you through a journey of learning like the fundamentals of quantum, which I think is really cool. So Alain will be presenting about his own quantum computing journey, and we'll talk about his experience writing his book. So please, let's give it up with a virtual applause for Alain.
Thank you, Alain, for being here. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Well, thank you for having me. So I will share my screen. Okay. And I will go into the presenter.
Awesome. We're able to see it.
Okay, hold on. Just a second. Okay, so you can see, yeah, that should be great. So thank you for introducing me. I might add that I've got a degree, executive engineering, which I got back in 1981. I got it about the same time as Alain Aspect published his experiment, which enabled him to have the Nobel Prize of Physics this year. So I'd say I'm 24 plus 40 years of experience, but I feel like I have the same enthusiasm, curiosity, thirst to learn than I was at the age of 24. Okay, so the outline of my journey, I think it can be split into 4 threads, and I think this could be a source of inspiration for all of those who are enthusiasts. As Jaya Kumar said earlier on, you can start in quantum at any time, at any age, regardless of your experience or degrees. But I was taught quantum physics back in 1979, and I needed to have some kind of refresher. So it happened at the time of the COVID-19. So I had the opportunity to get some good training online, and I will go into more details in the following slides. But learning quantum cybersecurity, physics, quantum chemistry, and computing, it takes a lot of work, but if you are enthusiasts, then you can eventually master a good part of it. Not all of it, as Sabina said. It's still. When I was taught quantum physics back in the 1970s, the mentality was shut up and calculate. Basically, there were mathematical recipes that enable you to get the correct result, but no one had a clue why it worked. Nowadays, we are making some progress, but this is the challenge. Joining the Qiskit Advocate program and mentoring, teaching, is another dimension. As soon as you start to master your topic well enough, then you can be bold enough to do some teaching. And I managed to pass the certificate exam, which is not so simple. And thanks to my commitment to the Qiskit community, I was allowed to join as a Qiskit advocate. Speaking at conferences, well, that's only the tip of the iceberg. I was fortunate enough to meet Dr. Keeper Sharkey in the early 2020, and as a business advisor. And I was fortunate enough, she gave me the opportunity to be her co-speaker at an event, Quantum Tech Digital Week. Initially, it was supposed to be physically in London, but it was rescheduled due to COVID as a virtual event. We had, and we still have today, a fruitful collaboration, but the next event where I was allowed to be, I was given the opportunity to be a speaker, was Quantum Business Europe this year. And the Quantum Tech in Boston was actually the first time we met physically. The last, I would say, dimension is the writing of the book, Quantum Chemistry and Computing for the Curious, which, by the way, would satisfy the curiosity of those who asked these very good questions to Sabina in the earlier presentation. So it was summarized as follows. Keeper taught me quantum chemistry. I knew very little about quantum chemistry before, and I taught her Qiskit nature. Okay. Let's move on. So let's have a zoom in my learning, the learning dimension of my journey. It started with the quantum cybersecurity in the real world with ID Quantique, a winter school in Les Diablerets in Switzerland, very nice setting. And this was the opportunity for me, not just to be taught about quantum cybersecurity, but actually to meet the people, in particular Charles and Henry Bennett from IBM, and Gilles Brassard, the co-inventors of the so-called BB84 protocol, BB because Bennett and Brassard, right? And it's very exciting to meet them and to learn from them directly their own historical perspective. Why is it that RSA was chosen in the first place? It could have been very different, right? So very good also to socialize and meet other people interested in this field. So this is why basically I started with why is quantum computing important? Why is it a potential threat? And what are the countermeasures? What was brilliantly explained earlier on by Mahima, the quantum cryptography, quantum key distribution. I was fortunate also to attend an online course by Peter Vitek, one of the pioneers of quantum machine learning. Unfortunately, sadly, Peter Vitek lost his life in the Himalayas in an avalanche. But this was a great course. Also was fortunate to be able to enroll to attend a quantum mechanics and quantum computation course by Umesh Vazirani. And there are lots of replays on YouTube. Umesh explained things, stuff in a very crystal clear manner. I discovered quantum computation thanks to Umesh. And I was really thrilled when I first heard about the Shor's algorithm and how it is. It looks like magic. It still does to me today. A good online courses, actually two of them, Quantum Internet and Quantum Computers by the Technische Universiteit Delft, again, online course. Very good to have a vision of the future of the quantum internet. And last but not least, from the first IBM Quantum Challenge, I did attend. At first, I was not able to complete all 3 exercises, just 2 of them. But you know, that was a very exciting experience. The best way to learn quantum computing, I would say, once you have got the basics, is attending hackathons. Again, Qiskit Global Summer School in 2020. and the same in 2021, and again in 2022. The story doesn't end there, because in October, this month, I will travel to Strasbourg and attend a very exciting conference called Quantum Computing for Chemistry. So this is my pet topic. So I will learn from people who know even more than I do. Okay. Now, give you an idea of how lucky I was to attend this winter school. So it's Le Diableret is a ski resort, and in January, well, you can enjoy doing cross-country skiing and other sports. So this is what we did. Unfortunately, for confidentiality reasons, I cannot share group photos of those people who attended the same course as I did. But it was really enjoyable, both from a learning standpoint and from a social standpoint. So, and this was just before, January 2019, it was only in December of this year that COVID started to make it difficult to travel. So I was lucky again to be able to travel and attend there physically. Okay, so next slide. Okay, done. Okay, so once I got the, I would say, confidence that I knew what I was talking about quantum physics, the basic principles, and thanks to Image Vaziani, quantum computation, I did apply for the passing the IBM Certificate Associate Developer, and I managed to get it. Not so easy, actually. You better prepare for that. There are lots of questions, and because of the different conventions, the Qiskit tensor ordering of qubits is different from the one you learn when you follow courses of quantum physics and quantum computation. You got to pay attention. I was really doing a lot for the Qiskit community, so that, and I told the right people that I was about to write a book, so that helped me get the privilege of being admitted to the Qiskit advocate community. I did some teaching in French for a school which is called EPSI, which is a private school for programmers. And I had to teach them the distributed architecture and quantum computation. And thanks to the fact that they were programmers and my skills in Python, that made it easy to explain to some students who had no previous experience in linear algebra nor complex numbers. Nevertheless, with the programming paradigm, makes it easier to explain those concepts, and the ability to with Qiskit to run some simple experiments, and that makes it even more interesting. I've been a mentor for the IBM Quantum Challenges and for the Qiskit Global Summer School, and as was mentioned, for the Qiskit Quantum Explorers training program, which is ongoing. It started in, I think, late August, and it will be until February of next year. Now, the Qiskit Advocate program, basically it's a global program worldwide, which provides support to the individuals who actively, they underscore, actively contribute to the Qiskit community. So it's really great to be part of such ever-growing group of individuals from very different backgrounds all over the world. And every week we have the opportunity to have a chat with another Qiskit advocate. It's selected at random. So there is a huge number of possible pairs, given the growing number of Qiskit advocates worldwide. And so it's really, from a social perspective, it's absolutely fantastic. Okay, so I highly recommend, once you are confident enough, once you have attended a bunch of hackathons, ideally, if you read my book, then do apply to become a Qiskit advocate, but you better assure that you not only expect to receive from the community, but you can give. And this is a commitment, a moral commitment to help the community grow and extend the knowledge. So mentoring for the Qiskit Quantum Explorers. So I'm really happy to be a mentor for this Quantum Explorer. Anyone can join, any age. Well, it's targeted mostly for students, high school and above, but there are people older that are welcome as well. And you can join in the middle of the program. The purpose is to give participants a general understanding of quantum computing, some of its applications as quantum machine learning, quantum optimization, and the opportunity to program real quantum computers, which are still in their infancy, but nevertheless, as Sabina explained, and the other speakers, we have the opportunity to actually submit jobs to run on actual real computers. And I think Sabina will share with the participants a list of resources, and there is the Quantum Explorers, the article in Medium, which itself points to the registration form. So please have a look, it's worth it. Now, speaking at conferences and signing copies of my book, it's only the top of the iceberg. I was at first in France. I was invited to a few events where I gave some talk, more high level for people who are in the business and started to be interested about the potential impact of quantum technologies, not just quantum computing, quantum technologies, on finance and banking. But then I was fortunate to meet Dr. Kipper Sharkey, who is based in the United States. And she gave me the opportunity to be co-speaker for the Quantum Tech Digital Week 2020. It was a challenge for both of us, but we had complementary skills. I brought my experience, my career as a consultant, preparing presentations that are targeted to business-oriented people, VCs, investors, in other words, whereas Kipper had all the notoriety and skills and expertise to present her topic, but from a scientific standpoint. So this was the synergy of our two expertise that enabled us to put together a decent presentation. Again, it was not live. It was live via the internet, but it was not a physical event. It was a virtual event, but live. And we competed against startups which had already managed to get, for some of them, several millions or tens of millions of euros or dollars funding. So it was quite challenging. As I said earlier on, for Quantum Business Europe, again, virtual event, I was a co-speaker and we explained the offering of our startup, ODE 3C, which is next generation accuracy for quantum computational chemistry. Accuracy is the it sums up the goal of quantum chemistry. You have no choice but to be accurate. If you are not accurate enough, then the calculation are of no value. And the challenge is to balance accuracy and the time it takes to perform the computation. Okay, but as I said, in June of this year, for the first time, we could say we are past the COVID-19 trouble. I was able to travel to Boston together with my wife. It's not just business, was also leisure, and to attend a conference, but even better, to together with Dr. Kipper Sharkey to present our book and to sign copies of our books to the attendees of the conference. We had a small booth shared with Pact Publishing, who printed our book. And there is another event which I didn't mention, but it was last week on the 7th of October. I was invited for a talk by the CIT, Coimbatore a college in India, and it was part of a Kiskit Fall Fest. And if you are interested, then you look at my profile on LinkedIn and you will find a replay on YouTube of my talk. And as we are witnessing now, I'm a speaker at this very webinar. Okay, so speaking at conference, of course, is the I would say is a reward, but also a challenge, because in order to deliver a good speech, you should really know your topic very well, and it complements the other two streams, learning and teaching, mentoring. Okay. Now, a challenge, which is nowadays quite common, because unfortunately, thanks to COVID, people are used to working remotely, and that makes it possible to have collaboration that you would never have thought would be possible. So my co-author was, by the way, the lead author of the book Quantum Chemistry and Computing for the Curious, illustrated with Python and Qiskit code, lives in a beautiful state of Montana in the USA. So I went there and I took this photo, and it's one, if not the most beautiful state in the United States. Beautiful forests, scenery with mountains with snow, reminds me of the Alps. The smell of the forest and the animals who live there, you can encounter. It's quite amazing. And on my side, I'm lucky to live in a very charming small town in Île-de-France, in France. The name is Oudan. It's in Yvelines, about 60 kilometers west of Paris. The challenge is that we live so far away from one another. There's 8 hours time difference. So basically, when it's 9 a.m. in the morning for Keeper, it's already 5 p.m. in the afternoon for me. And of course, that changes because the difference, because the when the in France as well in the United States, we change time. There is the winter time and summer time, and of course it's not synchronized, so that makes it even more fun. So the challenge is collaborating remotely, and we used all the tools that were available to us. So Skype, for instance, and the collaborative tools. Using Google Collaboratory, so that we could collaborate writing Jupyter notebooks, writing the code plus the text plus the images. Now, just a few illustrations. I think one of the quotes I like to put forward is from Keeper, and she answered she replied to a question by someone on LinkedIn in a conversation, and Keeper wrote the following: mathematics mostly came from her experience and from a plural, and the code mostly came from me, the Python code and Qiskit code. And we worked in collaboration. It was really a case of synergy between us two. I knew very little about quantum chemistry before I wrote the book. And we started about a year ago, in October of last year. We wrote the preface. Okay, hold on, trying to move on to the next page. Okay, now this is a quote from Alistair Cockburn, who is a worldwide class speaker. You can look up his name on Google, and is a friend of Keeper, and I'm also connected to Alistair, and he is one of the people who has had the opportunity to review our book, and he made this very funny comment. You know, there is something just so amazing when you work through a page of integrals like this. Look on the left side, and the answer is just 3/8. It fairly rocks me back on my heels every time, and it's true. This is the beauty of the math behind the quantum physics. You compute the right results, even though the way it is computed looks a bit scary at first. But look on the left-hand side, thanks to SymPy, Python, it's fairly easy to compute symbolically integrals which are quite daunting at first look. So this is the power of the I would say programming with modern tools, and SymPy is a very good example. And our book basically makes it easier for any enthusiast to grasp the main concept, because it is illustrated with Python and Qiskit code, and we can replay the experiments. The Jupyter notebooks are available. They are the set of complete Jupyter notebooks with text, images, and code are given for free for any purchaser of our book, and so you can have the electronic executable version of our book if you want. Okay, so yeah, this is the picture. Yeah, it's quite emotional after you work for so many months and years with someone, and it was only 2 years after the end of COVID that we had the opportunity to meet. Okay. So again, I mean, a picture when we signed our book at the Ode Unpacked booth. Was back in June of this year. And nowadays, my collaboration with Keeper is active around the marketing of our book. And I would say beyond marketing, it's I would say a social mission to contribute to the education of kids in high school and middle school. And so we are discussing with several communities, sponsors and mentors of quantum chemistry and quantum computing learning programs. And I would say it's great that we have met the Girlsinquantum. It's exactly the same goal. I think that's it. I will stop sharing, and I'm available for questions. Hopefully there will be many questions. And I take the opportunity to thank my followers, I cannot see the list of attendees, but hopefully Dr. Kipper Sharkey had the opportunity to attend. I know Alex Kahn, who wrote the foreword, and his daughter are supposed to attend the event as well. Bruno Federici might be a bit more difficult for him because he's in the middle of relocation, but he will try. And I've got a bunch of followers in France, in India, in the United States, and other places. So I want to thank all of these people who have ensured that they can attend, especially for those based in India, because it's actually very early on Sunday. It's no longer Saturday. Okay, so I'm ready to take questions if there are any.
Yeah, thank you so much, Alain. Your journey about learning and mentoring and speaking and writing and advocating in the quantum space is really inspiring. I personally am looking forward to reading your book and exploring quantum chemistry even further. And we already have a lot of questions in the chat. So first one is, why did you decide to write this amazing book?
Well, thank you. Actually, I didn't decide. Keeper offered me. She told me, Alain, it has been several years. I've been asked to or given the opportunity by Pack Publishing to write a book about quantum chemistry, and Keeper then asked me, Alain, would you be interested in writing illustrations in Python for my book? I replied, yes, provided I'm a co-author. So we discussion about the contract, and it was a deal. And so I'm not the one who decided initially. I was invited by Dr. Kipper Sharkey to be her co-author, and this is how it started.
Awesome. And you've traveled a lot. How is quantum computing around the world? Like, are there differences that caught your attention in how people approach quantum computing?
Thank you. So again, thanks to COVID, at the beginning, I attended events located in Paris, like the Lab Quantique, and it was challenging because there was so many enthusiasts. Sometimes I didn't apply early enough, and there were not enough seats available. Okay, so it was physical events. In 2019, I attended a hackathon at ETH Zurich in Switzerland. Again, there were only something like 50 people. I was one of the eldest. And then everything changed because due to COVID, all the events which were locally, physically, let's say in Paris or in London or other places, they became virtual, which gave me the opportunity to attend not only those I used to attend physically, but everywhere worldwide. I would say that my perspective is that it's global. It's global. It's no longer local, and my network is really global, worldwide, international, and so it's and the excitement is when you can meet for the first time people who you have worked with, but otherwise, thanks to this, I would say melting of different horizons, different cultures. I think when I attend meetups, there are people from all over the world, people who are students or consultants or just curious. So I'd say it's, in my opinion, as far as I can see it's more or less uniform throughout the world. It's a worldwide kind of community.
Yeah, and so you have a lot of experience with mentorship and quantum education. You wrote a book. So what is your why? Like, why do you devote so much time to teaching young students and promoting your book to middle school and high school students? Why do you do that?
Well, first of all, I would say that I'm semi-retired, so I can afford to do what I like, basically, and I like to learn. I like to share what I've learned. I like to, and so like my previous during my career, I had to work on projects which were selected topics by the clients and according to a certain process, right? Nowadays, I can afford to shop around if you want. I can choose the what is most exciting for me, and so it's passion, enthusiasm, passion. I would say summarizes it well. It started actually well before 2019. I remember in 2017 when I was still a consultant working on a big project implementing an enterprise resource package. At lunchtime, I was discussing about quantum computing with my colleagues, and my colleagues told me, "But Alain, you are really you are really passionate about this stuff," and I had a thirst to it. I'd say it's because I'm super enthusiast, curious, and it's also an intellectual challenge. Fortunately, I had a good education in linear algebra, mathematics, but yeah, it's a challenge to master the weirdness of the quantum physics and then the application with quantum computing. So I have fun. I do it because it's fun and it's my passion. Okay.
Yeah, that's really inspiring. I think that like if someone has the drive and curiosity to like just pursue something, and we have a lot of people asking questions already, like I'm a physicist, I'm an engineer, like how can I apply quantum computing to my industry? And I think just like the ambition to just go and learn is really like the driving factor. So what advice do you have to those people that are currently in industries like, like physics, like classical physics and engineering? How would they start their journey and apply quantum computing to their fields?
So of course it depends on how much time and effort they can dedicate to their passion. I'd say there are so many outstanding tutorials available now. I think the first recommendation I make is not to be on your own. Join a community. So and there are so many different communities. Of course, there is the Qiskit community, but there are others. And join forces with other enthusiasts and people who have more experience in the journey. And then I'd say you can only learn easily what you are interested in. So choose a topic where you are interested in. So and the people who have experience, say, in physics or in chemistry, they have an advantage is that they can try and figure out how possibly could quantum computing be applied in the future to solve some of their problems, which today are beyond the capabilities of even the most powerful supercomputer. But I'd say every journey is unique. And it's not just a question of reading stuff and attending meetups. It's also from the social side, meeting people who bring you something different, and learning from these people. And this is what happened to me. I mean, when it's because I met Dr. Kiepel and Sharkey that I got into quantum chemistry. Otherwise, it would have been a different story.
And speaking of community and attending conferences, do you recommend any particular conference or hackathon? There are a lot of people who are really interested to know like where to go.
there is so much choice, and I'd say it at first, back in 2019, I attended hackathons, and even 2020, different from different groups. But then I found out that in order to be successful, you have somehow to focus and kind of specialize. So I ended up specializing with Qiskit hackathons, but there are others, and I'm most familiar, of course, with the Qiskit hackathons. But I'd say have a look, be curious, get insight from your network, and choose what suits you best. And I'd recommend a worldwide community, joining worldwide community, because it's so much more source of insight and than just staying in your local country, in your local hub. Of course, for those who are not so fluent in English or Spanish, a key success factor is to learn these languages, which are de facto kind of standard in the field, especially English. So, but this is another opportunity to learn a foreign language if you're interested in that topic and you want to benefit from an experience from others. Then better get used to listening to speech talks in a foreign language.
Wow, that's a really good combination. Like, you learn multiple things, not just quantum computing, but maybe even another language. We have some people here who are really enthusiastic about learning quantum. They want to bring it to their schools, their high schools. How would they go about doing that to introduce quantum computing to their schools?
I think being proactive. I'm in touch with someone. His first name is Jamie, who mentors a kid in high school. I think he's an 8th grade, who on his own took the initiative to start teaching quantum machine learning, quantum computing to his classmates. Of course, he has the support of his teacher, and he has a mentor. So, and I think Girlsinquantum are another very good example. So it's just, you took the initiative and you put forward a project, and you share that with, if you are not yet, if you're under 18, at least in France, and in other countries, you need to have support from your parents, from your from the teachers. But don't wait until a teacher or someone else proposes. Be proactive, and hopefully the school, your parents will support you, hopefully, and hence the importance of joining a community, because you can learn from others. So, because quantum technologies is not new. Quantum sensors, quantum communication, it's not new. But quantum computing is a brand new topic, and so you will find it difficult to find teachers in that field, especially in colleges or schools or universities. So the best way is to proactively put forward a proposal and say, look, I'd like to start a club and share with other classmates or students, fellow students, my enthusiasm for this topic, and ask for advice. And so that's what I would say.
And speaking of quantum computing being a relatively newer topic, what quantum innovation or technology do you think will be most impactful on our society as a whole? Like what are we reaching for?
I think it's something which is often overlooked is the fact that quantum computing, if we manage to get it to work, it requires much less energy than classical computing, and we have some concern for the next years, because there's so much electrical energy is consumed just cooling server farms, that it's an issue. And so besides the hope of having exponential improvement in terms of computational power, the simple fact that we could achieve computations with much less energy would have a huge impact on the whole world. For instance, in terms of climate change, and there are actually programs around this idea of a Q for climate, quantum for climate. So I think that's one which is often overlooked, is the economy of energy of quantum computing, and as compared to classical computing. The other one is it's potentially awesome, because with quantum chemistry, for example, or quantum molecular dynamics, we could hope to be able to simulate a number of useful reactions. We should be able to improve the process, Haber-Bosch process for producing ammonia, and that could also reduce the level of energy consumed worldwide. We could have fast paths to producing new medicine. So there's so much benefits. The imagination is the limit, I would say.
Mm-hmm. And I was just going to ask about what industry do you think quantum would impact the most, but I think it's clear that just like consumption of energy in general is really the biggest factor that quantum will revolutionize, and medicine with that as well.
Yes, and I'd say who could have imagined 30 years ago that we would use smartphones the way we use them today? I mean, I remember as a child I used to watch Star Trek, and they had those handheld devices which enable them to communicate with one another, and we have got much more than that, because not only we can use that to communicate, but we can also use that to access information and to so many other things. And I'd say with quantum computing, it's most likely it will be the same. There are applications, benefits that we cannot even think about today. I'd say another benefit potentially is a better understanding of quantum mechanics. And a very exciting idea is that maybe we could have sentient quantum agents. In other words, quantum processors with quantum machine learning, with quantum sensors and quantum communication, that would reach a level of artificial intelligence that would enable us to make exciting experiments to test quantum mechanics, and especially what is really going on when we do a measurement, you see. Mm-hmm. And so amazing, right? I mean, an outcome could be a better understanding of quantum mechanics, which is a complete theory. I mean, Alain and others have won the Nobel Prize for that. But it would help if we had a better understanding of what's going on, especially the measurement. Okay.
And speaking of quantum mechanics, what do you think the biggest misconception or misunderstanding about quantum or the future of quantum technology is?
Well, that's interesting. Sometimes people ask me, but Alain, have you worked in atomic energy? Because they think quantum, you know, has a link to nuclear. But I think there are several misconceptions, especially around quantum computing, which leads to hype. The biggest misconception is that, and Scott Aronson summarizes very well this biggest misconception is to think that a quantum computer can simply explore all possible paths simultaneously. This is true, but what is often omitted is that at some stage there must be a so-called measurement, and out of a measurement comes only one outcome, and so you have got to replay your quantum circuit lots of times, and then you end up with a probability distribution. I think the biggest misconception is that it's a challenge to design an algorithm that will leverage interference in such a way that the not wanted results will cancel one another, and the desired results will amplify, you know, like waves, which when they collide, you know, so this is the challenge. The misconception is to think it's just the hardware, but no, I mean, the challenge is how to design such quantum algorithms. And nowadays, we only know a few. Well, there is the quantum protocol Zoo and the quantum algorithm Zoo, but the two famous ones have been mentioned: Shor's algorithms and Grover's algorithms. And I think this is the biggest challenge. And maybe among those who listen to us, there will be someone who will devise a completely new algorithm that will make it easier. Or maybe we need to wait until there is quantum machine learning or quantum artificial intelligence reach a level that they can actually invent new algorithms. I think it's the biggest misunderstanding to think that it's just, so the biggest misunderstanding is that some people think it's just a matter of mapping classical computation onto a quantum computer and poof, that's it. We will have, no, it's that is the biggest misconception.
So just a not enough developed understanding of quantum mechanics and what it takes to actually develop a quantum algorithm in quantum technologies as opposed to classical, because classical and quantum are, as you said, very, very different. It's not just like, oh, we have a new technology, let's just shift everything we have in the classical world to the quantum world.
Yes, I would say it's the challenge is to think outside of the classical box. And it's easier said than done. And what I found fascinating is a very simple quantum protocol. The teleportation protocol is relatively easy to demonstrate and to illustrate with Qiskit, for example. But at least I cannot see exactly what's going on. I can see that the computation, I can see the math, I can redo the math with the Dirac notation. I can run the experiment with Qiskit, but and we know teleportation works. There have been many different experiments, and now it's even used almost on a commercial basis to have secure telecommunications, even between a satellite and a land base. But it's mind-boggling. It's so one difficulty is to be able to have a visualization of what's going on in the quantum world that is good enough to enable us to discover new algorithms. I think that's a very. Another example is in chemistry. What we use, the methods we use, they work well, but they do not really mimic the way nature works. There are mathematical tricks, and it works really well. by the way, this is well documented in the book Quantum Chemistry and Computing for the Curious. Okay.
Well, speaking of your book, how long did it take you to write it?
Well, we started, I think, late September or early October of last year, and basically we had the green light to we gave the green light to Pack Publishing. I think it was mid-May 2022 of this year, and it was just a couple of weeks before the Quantum Tech in Boston in June. So it took a few months. This was tough. Neither Keeper nor I had any clue of how much time and effort it would take to write such a book. Yeah, it's a lot of work. So basically, it's not just the amount of time it took, but I had to dedicate most of my time to this project from October to May, basically, because once you start writing the preface, you know, it's fairly easy, okay, and then introduction, okay, and then when you start chapter 2, then you have got to not only produce the content of chapter 2, but you have got to take into account the comments and review by the publisher and by the technical reviewer for the preface and introduction. So you have got already like 3 streams in parallel, and when you are in the middle of the book, you have 4, and that's a lot of work. So yeah.
That's a really interesting perspective about like a look into writing a book, because I don't know, I haven't written a book. I don't think Elisa has either. I'm not sure about anyone in our audience, but it's definitely a really big process, as you said. And I'm personally curious because seeing that there isn't like a whole lot of documentation from some of the newer modules and libraries for quantum chemistry, like in Qiskit Nature, they're still deprecating a lot of older libraries. How did you work around that in like learning Qiskit Nature and integrating that in your book?
There was a good coincidence. One of the Qiskit hackathon I attended, I think it was IBM South Africa who had prepared the exercises. It was precisely about applying VQE to the hydrogen atom and lithium, lithium hydride. The hydrogen molecule and the lithium hydride molecule. And so I had hands-on experience working with the new version of Qiskit Nature at the right time when I needed it to provide the illustrations with Qiskit for writing the book. So I would say it was luck, good coincidence, and so yeah, that's it. So I could leverage my learnings from the Qiskit hackathon and the exercises, the Jupyter notebook, and then make it even better for the book. The differences with the book, we also included examples, variational computations, but the classical methods. So it's quantum chemistry is not just running on quantum computers. Quantum chemistry is applying basic quantum principles to do computations. And so we compared different methods. We compared the Qiskit, the quantum computation approach versus the classical ones. Okay.
Well, thank you so much. As you said, that like it's not just one resource or one conference or one hackathon and then poof, you know everything. It's a lot of work and a lot of dedication to learning something that you're curious about. So thank you so much, Alain, for joining us here today. I was really inspired by your talk, Lisa.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you're here, Alain, and you did such a great presentation. Or well, should I say, une incroyable présentation, et merci beaucoup.
Thank you.
And well, we received like a lot of comments here from people. For example, Sarah Marcella, if I'm not wrong. Hi from Sarah Marcella. Really interesting talk, Alain. Thank you. Very inspiring. Very nice talk. So yeah, a lot of great comments and such an inspiring talk. So really grateful to have you here in our seminars.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now, like, wow, it's been a really fantastic, jam-packed few hours. And I want to thank all of you attendees for joining us on this incredible journey. I know I really want to, I'm sure Lisa does as well, but we hope to host more of these webinars in the future in order to make quantum education as accessible as possible. Please join our Discord server, follow us on Instagram, visit our website, email us. We really want to grow the Girlsinquantum community as much as possible. We're already international on 6 continents, but we want to keep growing. The more people, the better. And as a reminder, you can still win one of these amazing certificates. All you need to do to receive one of these is to post anything you learned over the course of our sessions today and just use the hashtag Girlsinquantum. And as promised, if you're looking for ways to learn more about quantum or get involved in the broader quantum community, here is our resource guide to help you get started. I will put that link in the chat.
Awesome. We're going to post like all the recordings in our YouTube channel that will be, well, Girlsinquantum. It's our YouTube channel, so let's keep in touch with that. And well, there is a document, so you can like see all the documents.
Yeah.
Resources.
And also, if you have some time, please share your feedback about this session. We have some interest from local newspapers. I would love to hear your guys' feedback about this event. So if you have some time, please fill out this relatively short survey. Just hear your thoughts. I think I'll add a question on there. We'll definitely do a poll in the future about what topics you guys want to hear in the future. Yeah, I think that'd be very interesting.
And just a short comment. We're really glad that you were here during these hours of seminars. It was really fun to have all these amazing speakers. And just as new that I received like just in a couple hours is that IBM was the sponsor of these seminars. So really exciting for that. This was just a recent news. So really excited to have IBM as a sponsor. We're going to post all of these seminars in our YouTube channel with IBM as a sponsor. So really happy. And yeah, we hope to organize more seminars. Thank you, Sabina, for organizing these seminars with me. It was such an amazing time and opportunity for everyone to learn.
Thank you everyone so much for joining us. As we mentioned before, all the recordings will be available on our website, Instagram, like all the social medias, our Discord server, and hopefully on YouTube as well. So thank you everyone so much for joining us, and have a great morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye. Bye, Sabina.
Bye.